Arena. And again, just like Sonic Rush, it has the wireless multiplayer. So in other words, you can race against people all around. You can face anybody around the world in a race. It introduces us to the villainous Eggman Naga. There's the cartridge right there. As you can see, the manual. It's a real fun game. Just like it's on the same par, if not more so, than Sonic Rush. But definitely, if you want to complete your Sonic Rush collection, get that game. It's really fun. It's terrific. So that's my Sonic DS games. And lastly but not least, Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship 2007. I know this isn't the cover of it. I got this at a GameStop at the Modesto Mall. There's the game right there. This is the game I probably play the most of on my DS because I like to play against people online and sometimes against their characters. The one thing about this game, and I'm pretty sure it's been copied on to the sequels that have come after it, you can actually download the people that you find online. That, you know, when you look up world rankings and top rankings and rankings on your level and everything, you can actually download, I think, up to about 20 plus people onto your game, so that even if you're not online, you can play against them. So, but it's a fun game. Definitely check it out if you get the chance. But yeah, those are my DS games: Sonic Rush, Sonic Rush 2, and Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship 2007. And I'll be back with a look at my PlayStation 1 and 2 games. Alright, I am back here with a look at my PlayStation 1 and 2 games. And I've got plenty of PlayStation games. I've got my PlayStation about 99, I think, or 97. I can't really remember when I got it. But I got a lot of games to go with it. Well, not a lot of games, but plenty of games altogether. So, let's take a look at them, okay? This one right here, I don't got the cover for it. This is Space Jam. This came out when the PlayStation first came out. It's based on the movie of the same name. It's basically a basketball game. You can choose anybody to be the captain. It's basically a 3-on-3. You can switch out different characters during the halves and all that. It's got some mini games. It's real fun. And if you like basketball, you know, definitely check this out. It's a real fun game. So, but yeah, that's right there. It's Space Jam on the PlayStation. So check that out. It's real fun. Space Jam, PlayStation, PS1 game. You can also play it on your PS2. So check that out. And then, of course, we have here Tekken 3. That's right, Tekken 3. I got this at a Hastings. The one thing about places like Hastings is they do sell the games in good condition. They probably just don't sell the covers sometimes. But this is Tekken 3. It's playable. It's real fun. I've recently played it with my nephew. The reason for that is because he's got Tekken 6, and that's a good game. And I think it's because of this game that I've played that I've surprised him at the fact that I'm good at Tekken myself. So this is Tekken 6 for the PlayStation 1, which can also be played on the PlayStation 2. Definitely a good game. If you need a Tekken game for your PS1, get this one right here. And then we have this game, Street Fighter Alpha plus A, Street Fighter EX plus Alpha, I should say. It's basically the first Street Fighter 3D game. There have been reviews about this on YouTube. And it's basically Street Fighter, but in 3D. And it's one of those games, not only was it released by Capcom, but it was also released by someone else. Someone along with Capcom helped release the game. And basically, some of the characters that you see in Street Fighter EX plus Alpha, you don't see anymore in any of the games. So, in any other Street Fighter games, I should say. because of a licensing conflict or something. But this is definitely a game worth getting. If you want a Street Fighter game for your PS1 and one that's in 3D or one of the first 3D ones, get this. It's definitely worth the buy. I'm pretty sure you can find these at like a CD trade post or a game exchange or a GameStop. But these are real. This is definitely a good collection, a good addition to your collection of PS1 games if you needed them. And then here we have Looney Tunes Racing. That's right, Looney Tunes Racing. This came out, I think, around, I'm trying to find the year here. Oh, 2000. This came out in 2000, just around the time the PS2 was getting ready to be launched. But this came out in 2000, just around the time the PS2 was launched. It's basically a typical racing game. You know, like Mario Kart is the standard racing game for the Nintendo series. Well, Warner Brothers decided to, along with Info Games, decided to bring out their own racing game, and it has a lot of Looney Tunes, all the Looney Tune characters mostly. You can go online, look up codes and everything to unlock other Looney Tune characters, and it's real fun. If you got a multiplayer tab for your PS1 or PS2, use that. It's definitely a fun game to play with against family and friends, and it's good for everybody. It's Looney Tunes Racing. It's got great animation, great 3D animation. Well, not great 3D animation, but good at the time back in 2000. So definitely check that out. But it's definitely a good game. I'd suggest you check it out if you want a good racing game for the whole family. Then right here we have WCW Nitro. That's right. It's one of the WCW games that was on the PlayStation. I think it was one of the very first WCW games, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. The one thing that really makes it different and makes it probably different than anything else is because at the time you had video of the wrestlers. Believe it or not, you had actual video of the wrestlers speaking to you, and that was unusual for something like this at the time. I mean, WWE didn't even have that with their games. So, and this, believe it or not, was made by THQ. So no wonder people like it, and no wonder, and it's got good graphics, definitely good. So I'd check it out if you want to look for a good game. You want some kind of memory or something like that of WCW. If you were a fan of theirs, get this game if you can find it. It's really worth it. So check that out. And then of course we got slots. This is just basically a typical arcade style casino game. Basically you just play slots, basically casino machines, not for real money, but it's just basically one of those games where if you can't go to the casino, this is the closest you're going to get right here, slots. It's a fun game, it's an intriguing game, keeps you busy if you, like I say, if you're in the mood to go to the casinos, this is the game you'd want to play. So slots right there. Alright, now we're going to look at the big boy. Hold on for a second. Alright, now we're going to look at the big boy here. My PlayStation 2 collection. Oh ho ho. This is going to get you. Now, I've talked about this game in a previous video. Actually, I reviewed it. It is Sonic Mega Collection Plus. Zanazarik, or Shane of the Multimedia Chronicles, has this game. He mentioned it. It's basically an upgrade of the GameCube version. It's got up to date, for the time, I think it's up to, I believe, 134, I believe, when it comes to the comic book covers. You know, the Archie comic book. Basically, one of the extras they have is the comic book covers to the Archie comics. And this one goes up to, I think, about 134, I believe. If beyond, I don't know. And it does got the additional Game Gear games, and it does have some video footage. Actually, it has some footage, like work in progress, finalization of the introduction for Sonic, for some of the movies.